loving it.
Several staff members of Bahamas Information Services took their lunch hour today to express concern about the organization's management style. Staff members claim they are being denied essential supplies needed to perform their duties.
Bahamas Information Services is another arm of government that disseminates national information and comes under the Ministry of Tourism. Bahamas Public Services Union President John Pinder maintains there is no industrial action being taken at BIS, at least for now. Mr. Pinder has been aware of the matter for some time and told reporters today that he's made several attempts to get answers.
And as simple as the supplies will not give the janitors the necessary supplies for cleaning, will not put the necessary toiletries in place for the staff to have uses of. As simple as water. I came in the other day, they have gallons of 5-gallon containers locked away, but there was none on the dispenser. So actually the managing director had offered me a bottle of water of his fridge. The staff here have been crying for equipment for the last 2 years. But at the end of the budget year, funds are being sent back in to the Ministry of Finance as if they didn't need the funds.
ZNS News contacted the minister responsible for BIS, the Honorable Obi Rulstrom. He said that he is comfortable with the leadership, saying that they have been able to bring some discipline to the operations at that agency. He also noted that they have reduced overspending.
The Department of Social Services launched its Visa debit card in the Fox Hill community Monday, intended to modernize the food assistance program. The card was launched to 500 clients who will be able to use it by Wednesday. Eventually, some 2,000 clients at the Fox Hill office will benefit from the initiative that was launched at the Wolf Road Social Services Center in November. Minister of Social Services, the Honorable Melanie Griffin, says the card is much more convenient for clients and is intended to restore dignity to their lives.
It's reloadable, so it means that at the end of each month we are able to reload the face value of the food assistance that each client is certified to receive onto that card. They no longer have to come to the centers, particularly for for Fox Hill. That is extremely important, because anyone could tell you on any given morning the lines that are here up in Fox Hill.
The minister says clients have adapted to the card with ease as it was launched in partnership with the Bank of the Bahamas. Acting Chief Operating Officer at BOB, Renee Davis, says the card improves efficiency in the way payments are made for the food assistance program. She says since the launch, complaints have been limited.
What we found is the complaints we received either related to persons using the cards before the payment date, or persons trying to use the card at an establishment that has not been established as a food merchant. But the complaints have really not been very significant, and persons are using the cards with ease.
If it's one thing the Sting Junkanoo Group knows, it's how to have fun. But what you may not know is that they love sharing that good time with others, bringing joy to children's faces yesterday. The group hosted its annual fun day for the youngsters living at the Children's Emergency Hostel. The annual event, which is the brainchild of Sting member Gary Super Johnson, is something Junkanooers and the children look forward to every year.
Grateful to be and share these moments with these precious kids.
We as proud Junkanooers, just trying to share our fun and help the kids celebrate Christmas. Even though Christmas has passed, we still have a lot of toys for them today, and it's just as fun and a privilege to be here at the Children's Emergency Hostel.
Every year, we look forward to seeing them.
This portion of the news was brought to you by McDonald's. McDonald's, I'm loving it.
This is your Royal Fidelity Business News. I'm Jared Higgs. The Ministry of Financial Services is pledging to develop the Bahamas into a regional arbitration center. While speaking at the 3rd Annual Arbitration and Investment Forum, Minister of Financial Services, the Honorable Hope Strawn, says her ministry intends to support training initiatives in the science of arbitration both locally and internationally, and that action is being taken to seek to partner with internal and local stakeholders, such as the Bahamas Bar Association and the Bahamas Chamber of Commerce. In other business news, realtor Gavin Christie has made history at C.A. Christie by being named managing partner of the real estate firm, and this makes him the firm's youngest partner as well. President of C.A. Christie & Co., Charles Christie, said Gavin is a top producer who has continued to soar since his first listing at $4.2 million. On his appointment, Gavin Christie says he is honored to take on the role of managing partner and lead C.A. Christie into the future. His main goal for 2015 is to expand the firm into the Family Islands and even as far as China. In international business news, European leaders are warning Greece not to abandon their financial obligations. This comes after the recently elected far-left party says it wants to scrap austerity measures and renegotiate debt payments. The far-left party's election victory has caused some uncertainty within the market, with the euro briefly trading at an 11-year low and the Greece stock market ending 3.2% lower. This has been your Royal Fidelity Business News. I'm Jared Higgs.
The Fusion Mass Band is the latest group announcing its intention to participate in the upcoming Junkanoo Carnival. The group had its launch this morning at Outback Steakhouse at the Mall at Marathon under the theme Welcome to Our Paradise. President and sponsor of Fusion is Trevor Williams.
The mission of Fusion, our goal is to be innovative, the most innovative group in the Bahamas Carnival lineup. We strive for total customer satisfaction. We want to provide a quality, attractive costumes that people can't stop talking about. We want to provide high quality food and beverage offerings during the Road March Parade. And we want to be committed, and I said that word, committed to the growth of the Bahamas Junkanoo Carnival as it moves along. Be able to do one thing, and you know, the government is looking at selling this to the world, but Fusion wants to be able to bring the Bahamas together in order for us to sell it to the world. So, you know, we're 100% behind this Junkanoo Carnival initiative. All right, Fusion is gonna bring the islands together so then we could take this to the world.
Asu Jar and Bahamian musician Avi are also part of the Fusion family. Costume designer Clint Paul showcased 4 of the group's costumes. Paul describes his creation as an inspiration depicting the way we party in the Bahamas, while Chief Executive Officer of the Bahamas Carnival Commission, Roscoe Dames, lent his support.
It'll be waterproof to a certain extent. They are long lasting. We make them to fit any size, any shape. So it'll be big, short, small, tall. We have a costume for you.
The mission of Fusion is part of the mission of what Bahamas Junkanoo Carnival speaks to, celebrating us as a people. One of the most important things we want to not forget and continue to recognize is this event is about us. It's about us as a people. It's about bringing the Bahamas together.
Thank you are words that are sometimes not heard often enough, but one local artist made it a point to do so this past week. Artist Alex Miller donated a painting to the people of Cuba for their efforts in sending a medical team to Africa to assist with the Ebola outbreak. Miller said the painting was an attempt at surrealism on his behalf, and the red on the hibiscus symbolizes the intensity of what unfolded during the Ebola outbreak and the compassion and the passion of the Cuban people to assist others in need.
Appreciate. We must not take it for granted. We must appreciate the sacrifice these people are making, and they must not go unnoticed. Right? So I'm taking it upon myself to show that there's someone out there in the world who recognizes the sacrifice that they're making. So I want to make a donation of an assigned print, authentic print, limited edition print to each and every nurse that went on the Ebola mission to have as a gift to them when they return, to let them know there's someone out there who appreciates the work that they do.
Accepting the painting on behalf of the Embassy of the Republic of Cuba was Third Secretary Yusladi Clemente Lopez, who explained that this was the second time that Miller surprised embassy officials with such a gift.
This painting celebrating, highlighting the efforts of the Cuban people fighting Ebola in Africa once again. And I think that, as Mr. Miller stated before, from the art, does simple, common people, plain people, acknowledgement of what a nation is doing. I mean, an artist from the Bahamas presenting the Cuban people and the Cuban doctors in Africa with a painting. So that's something that cannot be silent.
It's a sight bird watchers travel far and wide to see and rarely do, but our news team had the good fortune of not only observing the courting ritual of West Indian flamingos, but caught it all on camera. Cleopatra Murphy has the story of how a once dwindling population is now thriving at the 287 square mile Inagua National Park.
In the air and chest out, the country's national bird signals the start of the mating season. Good news for the once nearly endangered species. Great Inagua is home to more than 70,000 West Indian flamingos, the largest colony in the world. That was not always the case, though. Inagua National Park Senior Park Warden Henry Nixon says when it was created in 1965, there were less than 800 birds because they were hunted.
In the old days, it used to be a problem because, you know, the folks used to eat the flamingos for food. It was more food for them than to say really poaching. They will go and they'll get some birds that they need to feed their family. So, but nowadays the people became more educated, so it's a different story today.
Nixon and his nephew Randolph Casper Burroughs are second and third generation wardens. They took up the mantle from their ancestors, who were recruited to help preserve the population in 1952 by Robert Porter Allen from the Audubon Society.
My grandfather and his brother were the two best hunters back in the days when Mr. Allen and Mrs. Sprun came to Inagua to try do some conservation work. They got the two best hunters, convinced them to, change around from hunting them to protecting them.
Today the species thrives on the island, also the home to wild donkeys and other birds. Burroughs says their efforts to preserve the flamingo population are vital.
Flamingos might have been extinct, but just something that you hear about. Whereas if you could look out here right now, we have a flock of about maybe 500 birds, and right now it looks like they're going through their courtship ritual. So the guys are fancying up themselves for the girls. So hopefully in the next few months we will have some nesting. We didn't have any last year, but this year looks a bit promising.
The two say they encourage Bahamians and tourists alike to visit the park. Burroughs adds that as a non-profit organization, the BNT depends on donations. People interested in joining can contact the Trust for more information. Cleopatra Murphy, ZNS Network News.